Well, hey everybody, and thanks for tuning in to Act 3. As always, we are delighted that you're here. And on today's episode, we have so much fabulous entertainment to share with you. You will be busy all summer long. And thank goodness June 21st, I think June 20th or 21st, is the summer solstice, so we can all enjoy a little of that. It's also Dad's Day, so for all you dads out there, all you stepdads, all you wannabe dads, have a wonderful, wonderful day. We hope you enjoy yourself. And at the same time, we have like tons and tons of celebrations going on for the month of June for our queer friends. And on our last episode, you learned about Queerology 101, and I encourage you to get out there and enjoy the Pride parades and the Pride fun, because there's gonna be a blast. And while you're doing it, think of us on Act 3. This will be the last episode that we have as our group for Season 5. We're in Episode 10. And we'll have a couple more episodes for you, yes, but it won't have our full volunteer team. We can't do any of this without our amazing volunteers, so I want to thank them all right away before we get started on the show. Meanwhile, make yourself comfortable. Let's get started with all the groovy stuff we've got for you.
I'm sitting on the edge of love and happiness. Yeah. Never experienced such a moment as this. So if you got that good feeling in your body and you want to bring this moment to life, come with me, we'll hit the town. Let's go right now and live the life. I just want to shine like the sky up like a sunset, living with no regrets. I just want to shine.
Way to open the show like the first warm breeze of summer, Kathy. First up, I've got one of the most exciting guests of the day, and that may be arguable, but I think winning a free boat is pretty exciting. I'd like to welcome the chairperson of the Forest Field Enhancement Society, Ken Gregg, to tell me how I can win a boat. Welcome, Ken.
Thank you, Jeremy.
So what is going on? I understand you're part of a super team of service clubs, and you're running a raffle.
Yes, the Forest Field Enhancement Society was formed with members of Rotary, Kinsman, Eagles, and Mid-Island Soccer to assist the town in putting some enhancements to their Forest Field project.
Sure, tell me a little more about Forest Field before I ask about some of these other super team members.
Okay, Forest Field was our turf soccer field in Ladysmith. The property is being expanded to be a multi-sport type of complex. So over the last several years, we've put in a wheelchair accessible walkway. We put in, this past year, there's pickleball courts, new parking lots, there's a new practice turf field. They've roughed in our BMX bike park. There's an exterior trail that we hope to put some additional workout equipment on, Ninja Warrior workout equipment. And the final phase will be a lacrosse-style multi-sports arena, a baseball diamond, and then a two-story clubhouse with an observation deck.
Ken, why is it important for Ladysmith to have access to all of these sports? And did you have access before?
The field has been there for approximately 15 years. But the whole idea of the town developing this complex is so that people of all ages will have an outdoor activity center that they can go to. The field is, of course, the biggest draw. We just finished with the Mini World Cup soccer tournament where we had 107 teams from U5 to U15 there in April. So it attracts a lot of attention.
I mean, I think we all know that access to athletics and a sporting lifestyle is really healthy for young people, older people, all across the range. But 107 teams really sounds like that has an economic impact on Ladysmith as well.
I believe that the whole area benefited. I know that there were hotel rooms booked from Nanaimo to Duncan, restaurants, just the overall economic expansion when something like this happens.
Okay, I'm sold on why we need Forest Field, and I know there's some history about Forest Field that folks can look into. We're going to put your website underneath, but I need to hear about this boat.
Okay. The project that the Enhancement Society is working on right now is specifically to replace worn-out playground equipment. What happens a lot of times is families come to the soccer field or for football. They have 2 or 3 kids. One might be playing soccer while the others are kind of standing around boards. So the existing playground equipment that is there is pretty well at the end of its lifespan. So we've spec'd out about $136,000 worth of new playground equipment to go into the Forest Field area. And we've put together a fantastic raffle with some great prizes to raise money for that.
Can you run down the prizes for me really quick, just so our
Sure.
audience can hear?
Our grand prize is a brand new Sea-Doo Switch boat. It's a platform boat that holds 6 people. It's 170 horsepower. It can pull water skiers. Very, very versatile and fun boat. That was supplied to us by Ladysmith Motorsports. Our second prize is a $3,000 Expedia travel voucher that's good for any resort or cruise package, your choice. Supplied to us by Expedia Cruises and a local consultant, Colleen Youngblood. Our third prize is $2,500 worth of Milwaukee power tools that came to us through a Home Hardware Building Center in Ladysmith. And our fourth prize is a $500 spa gift certificate from Seaside Spa on Yellow Point Road in Ladysmith.
Those sound incredible, and I've got about 20 seconds left. I heard there was a big challenge set out in the community this year.
Yes, the tickets are on sale. There's only 1,200 tickets, but the owner of the A&W, Jason Kelland, has issued a corporate challenge to any of the business owners on Vancouver Island to match or better. He's buying 2 tickets to give to his employees as Employee of the Month as a reward, to not only kind of excite his staff, but also to support the community.
Thanks, Ken. You guys heard it here first. Not only is there a boat to win, but challenge your fellow vendors and fellow businessmen to do a little bit of team morale by buying one of the raffle tickets. I'm going to pass it over to you, Teresa.
Thank you, Jeremy. I am so happy to be here today with Catherine Reid, who is a registered yoga teacher, and she's going to talk about yoga for memory loss. Hi, Catherine. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Teresa.
So how can yoga help with memory loss? That's fascinating to me.
I have training. I'm a certified brain longevity specialist, so I've taken training in how certain yoga techniques can reduce the chances of developing dementia in the first place and also reverse memory loss if it has started.
Wow. So when does memory loss start? Like, I think many of us think maybe 70 or 80, but it's earlier than that, isn't it?
The brain starts changing in our 40s. Many people don't notice any changes till their 60s.
Wow. So we should be starting at 40, or what?
Not a
Is
bad
it
idea.
like now is the best time to start if you didn't start 20 years ago?
Now is a good time to start a lot of things, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
So tell us more, how does that work?
I teach a system where 4 pillars of lifestyle choices are taught: diet and supplements, stress management, physical and mental exercise, and spiritual fitness. And if a person practices all of these choices, it can reduce the chances of developing dementia. And then there's also a special 12-minute yoga meditation that has been proven in studies for 30 years to reverse memory loss.
Oh, I wish we had 12 minutes to do that, but we don't. But how about those 4 pillars? Can you expand on those 4 pillars a little bit? And I must say, I'm surprised that sleep isn't one of them, but it probably fits into somewhere in there.
Good point. Each pillar contributes to our overall health, and when we contribute to our overall health and wellness, we're helping our brain. Yeah.
Yeah.
And some people might be really strong in one pillar. They're eating really well and they're taking supplements specifically for their brain, and that's great, but they're not exercising enough. So if they work on one particular pillar more than another, it might help improve their overall health and wellness and that of their brain.
Like, I do know people who may not exercise, but they eat well. They don't exercise. And you really need the combination of those 4 things that you've talked about.
Yeah, for sure. So enough exercise, an adequate amount of exercise every week can reduce the chances of developing dementia in the first place by up to 50%. It's huge. 50%. Stress management is huge.
Wow.
Yeah, because a stressed brain is not a well-functioning brain, and the stress hormone cortisol destroys memory cells in the memory area of the brain. So we want to do everything we can to keep our lives smooth. We all have stress coming into our lives, and what yoga teaches us is how to manage it. It's not like we can get rid of it, it's how are we managing it.
So when you say yoga, some people think about having to twist yourself into some weird shapes.
Of course.
That's not what the brain yoga is.
No, this is chair yoga. This is chair yoga. We're moving in a chair. We're doing a lot of things in a chair. You can even work on your balance in a chair just by lifting one foot off the floor. You're activating your core muscles that help you retain your balance throughout your life. So you can do a lot in a chair, surprising amount.
Yeah, that's good, because some of us aren't as mobile as others.
Exactly.
And so be able to continue exercising in a chair is good.
Yeah, exactly. And I have the ability to offer people different options so they can do what feels best in their body. It's not a one-size-fits-all kind of practice. It's try this. If you want something different, try this, or try this. I usually give 3 options.
So we're almost out of time, but can you give us a little bit of a demonstration? Just sitting here.
So there are finger movements in this meditation, and there are numerous nerve endings in the fingertips, so these correlate with a lot of big areas in the brain. We do a certain chant, so it's stimulating areas in the lips and top of the tongue, the roof of the mouth, and then we're chanting, so we're stimulating the musical part of the brain. It's very stimulating for the brain, and it's at the same time calming.
So just doing, like, if we're waiting around and right, it's nice to just do that, and if we can stimulate our brain, let's do it, right? Thank you so much, Catherine, for helping us understand how yoga can help with memory loss.
You're welcome, Teresa.
I'm your host, Elspeth, and I am here with the incredible and effervescent Nico Rhodes. Welcome, Nico.
Thank you. That's the first time I've been called effervescent. I'm glowing.
I
just
thought you
hearing
might like it.
I loved it. Thank you.
Nico, you're not a stranger to our guests. You've been on the show many times, and you're not a stranger to Nanaimo. You're very well known and very well loved across Nanaimo, but you're here today to talk about something super special. So what is it?
Oh my gosh, I'm here today to just talk about Hullabaloo. We're doing Hullabaloo again. For those of Hullabaloo, some joyful noise. For those of us who haven't seen the show last year, we've got this 100-voice choir, 7-piece band, of almost half a dozen professional guests coming from all over the island and the Lower Mainland. It was such a riot last year. Truly, I think it was my favorite concert I've ever participated in, and so we just had to do it again, and we had to do it bigger and better, and this year we're doing 2 shows. So
2 shows. So we're going to get to the dates in a second.
Absolutely.
But you said the best concert you'd ever participated in, but you're not just participating. You're leading, coordinating, you arranged all of the music?
Yep, yeah.
That's a big deal, Nico. We knew you were talented, but this is phenomenal.
Well, thank you. It's a modicum of insanity, a modicum of ambition, and a lot of passion. I love all of the music that we're performing, obviously. I love the performers that we're working with. The choir that we're working with is all based out of Nanaimo, in the local area. We have 110 singers. That is enough to get me up in the morning, and I'll gladly work day and night knowing I get to see those people and hear them sing, yourself included. And it's enough to carry you through those moments where you're looking at the pile of work going, what have I done? But I know that for the audience and for the people who are going to be on stage sharing that experience with us, it's well worth it.
It's going to be amazing. And I have, as you've mentioned, had a sneak listen at some of the music. Your selection of music is amazing. And I know you don't want to let too much out because you're keeping it a surprise, but can you tell us who your guests are.
I can tell you that we have the legendary Fred Penner.
Wow.
I know, it's pretty unbelievable. We have an up-and-coming singer of the community, Joelle Rabou. You may have heard of her.
I think I've heard of her
Yeah, she's
before.
okay.
She's very special.
I've met her a couple of times. It's obviously my mom. We have the legendary Ty Kosh, who recently performed with the VIS last year, and an up-and-comer Lilu Scott, who is the granddaughter of my late great best friend, Rick Scott.
Wow.
And she has a tremendous gift, her voice, her songwriting. I'm really excited for Nanaimo to meet her in this way. On top of that, we have Calvin Dick, who was the concertmaster of the VIS for 2.5 decades. And he will be performing in the band as well as soloing, playing the violin. So it's quite the spread. Everything from the Doors to Bachman Turner Overdrive to Queen to tango to gospel.
What a mix. And I think we might even hear someone else singing a little bit.
Oh gosh, I'm not sure if this is an incentive or might turn people off, but I am going to be singing. This might be the only time anyone can come see me sing something in public on my own. I mean, I'm backed up by the choir, but there's a moment, a fleeting moment.
Great moment. It's a great moment.
I sure hope it will be. I think it's gonna be fun. I'm excited.
Yeah. So I think we're all excited, and we all definitely want to come and see it. So we didn't say the dates before because I wanted us to be able to highlight those. So it's soon. It's June
18th and 19th. So it's Thursday and a Friday at 7:30 p.m. at the Port Theatre. We still have tickets. I believe the floor of the Port Theatre is pretty much sold, but I think we're probably gonna be opening the balcony soon, so you can come get your favorite seats.
But they're going fast, I think.
They're going fast, and usually this last week before a show, that's when we really see a surge. So if you're interested, act quickly, please, please.
So I think there's some information that's going to be scrolling across the screen.
Fantastic.
But just so our listeners can hear as well, you go to porttheatre.com?
Porttheatre.com. If you look up Hullabaloo, or if you just scroll through their events page, they have sort of a listing in date order, and it won't be that far down the page at this point, just a couple ways down. You'll see a picture of me trying my best to smile and look candid. Big rainbow sign, Hullabaloo, you can't miss it.
Fantastic.
Look for the O's.
Yeah, I think people will have to try a few times to spell it, but boy,
Indeed.
I love that joyful noise, and I think it's going to be a wonderful moment for our community.
I am beyond excited. I'm so thrilled, and I just it's a gift for everyone involved, and I hope it's a gift for the audience too.
I know it will be. Thank you, Nico.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Elspeth. That was fantastic. And having Nico Rhodes is always such a treat and such a pleasure. Make sure you get your tickets to Hullabaloo. And speaking of things you need to get tickets for, I have to tell you, Arts Collective Theatre, otherwise known as Act 3 Theatre, not Act 3 as in our Act 3, but you remember Amanda Cutting. She's been with us many times on the show before. Well, she has a couple more new plays for this summer season. I am delighted to have Emily Huggins, right? Who is the lead for Thumbelina, and the director, Rokeby Mugridge? Mugridge, what a name, that's so perfect. So let's talk about Thumbelina and talk about is it your directing debut or?
I've directed a few things before, mostly with school, so it's my first directing job in like a big budget theater. It's so exciting.
Oh, I bet it really is.
Yes.
And the wonderful thing about theater is it sets you up for something in your future that you can never, ever expect. The skills that you learn, the things that you do, and you're doing it at Mafio Sutton, so you get to be outside with your lead actress. Emily, tell us about your role.
I'm super excited to be playing Thumbelina. She's such a fun, sassy character. She's really dramatic. She does not like when people call her small.
Well, because she's not. She is absolutely not small.
She is a tiny person with a huge heart.
And a wonderful attitude.
Yes.
Yeah. This isn't your first role, though, with Arts Collective, is it?
No, this is my second year performing with ISTF.
Oh, fantastic. I'm so happy for you as well. So what inspired you to get involved in this production and with Arts Collective? How did you guys decide to put a season on?
Well, for me personally, I was involved last year on stage.
Yes.
And I have always tried to subtly mention to people that I want to do directing, and it luckily worked out for me this year. And yeah, with Thumbelina, there's a lot of really fun fantasy inspirations that I've stolen from. Yeah.
Well, now listen, I know that Amanda, typically when productions are brought out, they bring the Nanaimo flavor to everything. So I know that because it's the Island Summer Theatre Festival and the Merry Wives of Windsor is also going to be on, but the Merry Wives of Windsor is the Merry Wives of Nanaimo.
Yes.
So is Thumbelina the fantasy fabulous Nanaimo as well, or is it more traditionally seen in the script?
I would say it's in a imaginary fantasy world.
Yeah.
I think we get little instances of Nanaimo just from theater or audience interaction,
for sure.
and that sort of thing.
So I've gone for the last few years, and I've enjoyed all of the shows. Have been so fun, and it's wonderful to sit out in the park and watch an evening performance as the sun is going down and you guys are doing your thing. It's really amazing. There's two more people behind you, and although they're not mic'd up for us to talk, can you tell us about these two characters?
Yeah, so we have our Pip, who is
Hi, Pip.
a bird and the lead scout of the Anthorian Flight Squadron. He kind of acts as a sidekick for Thumbelina.
Right on.
And then we have Madra, which is Thumbelina's mom.
Oh.
She's very much like Mother Nature, big, beautiful flowers. All of those things.
1,000% big, beautiful flowers, and a bumblebee too, which you can't really see right now, but she does have her bumblebee, which is pretty terrific. So why don't we tell our audience, when are the shows? How do people get tickets? Where is it? I mean, we did say Mafio Sutton, but tell us a little bit more about the who, what, where, when, and how people can get those tickets.
Yeah, so we are performing in Ladysmith from July 21st to 24th.
Okay.
And then we are in Mafeo Sutton from the 29th of July to the 2nd of August.
Right on. That's
Yes.
fantastic. And to get your tickets, you go to Arts Collective,
acttheater.ca.
acttheater.ca. And of course, we'll have all that stuff, running across the bottom of the screen. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the program today. Thanks for coming to Act 3. It's always lovely to share theater. I am really excited about it.
Thank you very much, Kathy. We are indeed continuing with a theater theme. Those of you who have been with Act 3 for a while are probably familiar with Reconciliation Theater. We've had the privilege of having them here as guests over the years. So today for this show, we're joined once again by Reconciliation Theater. We have Lisa Rokeby and Autumn Olenick. Thank you both so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
For our viewers that aren't familiar with Reconciliation Theater, there shouldn't be many of them by now, but tell us a bit about Reconciliation Theater.
Yeah, we started about in 2018, just a group of friends getting together and wanting to learn about and read more plays by Indigenous playwrights. And then after a few years, we thought, what if we actually put these on stage? And so we have a lot of people with a variety of experiences between high school drama teachers, high school drama
Students?
Sure,
quite
a few. And both people in professional and non-professional roles. And so we decided to come together and start putting them on. So this year we're going to be putting on our fifth production,
Right.
Women of the Fur Trade by Frances Concan.
Absolutely. It's funny, you talk about high school students. I think, Autumn, you had mentioned that was kind of where you maybe had your first taste of theater. Is that right?
Yeah, it actually, after COVID, I started getting into theater because I wasn't able to go out and play sports as much anymore.
Yep.
And then I just got into high school theater and I just fell in love with it.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So here we are for year 5, fifth season, if you will, Women of the Fur Trade. Tell us a bit about the play. What can audiences look forward to with Women of the Fur Trade?
Well, I've said in the past that part of my reconciliation is trying to revisit history from the perspectives of the voices that have historically been silenced. And so I learned a lot about the fur trade as a child. I learned a little bit about the Red River Rebellion and the history of the Métis people. But I did not learn it from a women's perspective or frankly from an Indigenous perspective.
Right.
And that's why this play is so fantastic. It starts with 3 female characters. We have one Métis character played by Autumn and an Anishinaabe fur trapper and also a British settler. And the 3 women live together in a fort. And some of them can come and go, and some of them are trapped within the fort. We also end up getting a chance to meet Louis Riel and a much less lovable character, Thomas Scott. But they're definitely not the main characters. This story is definitely put on by the women of the fur
The 3
trade.
women. Autumn, you're one of those 3. Talk a bit about your experience as an actor in this production.
I've enjoyed working with Lisa and the cast so much. My character, Marie Angelique, she's a Métis Taurus. She's very much into astrology. She's very bold and flirtatious. She admires Louis Riel.
Sure.
But she's so funny but serious, and she gets into politics. But overall, it's been such a great experience.
And it's such a collaborative one. Lisa, we should mention you're directing this one, and this is your, can we call it a directorial debut? Is that accurate?
It is, yeah, working outside of an elementary classroom. It is.
Well, there's plenty of directing going on in an elementary classroom too, I guess.
Absolutely.
And Reconciliation Theatre, I assume this carries on, but it's been so well received. There's been so much enthusiasm. It sounds to me like you're met, no matter where you travel, with great enthusiasm for what it has to offer.
We're making some really good relationships with various communities up and down the island. We're able to, I think there's a lot of audience members who want to learn about Indigenous stories and perspectives, and they may or may not have experience with theater. And so we're trying to make those stories become more accessible. The majority of our plays so far have been comedies. I've heard in the past from other elders who have talked about how when you are putting on a play about really difficult subjects and you make it a comedy, that's the time when the audience leans back to open their mouth to laugh. That's when the good medicine comes in.
Yeah, we were talking earlier. It kind of makes it a bit more accessible to your audience.
Absolutely.
You use the phrase up and down the island. That's where you guys are going to some extent. Let's talk a little bit quickly about dates, times, cities. Where are we going with this tour and production?
Well, we open in Nanaimo on July 1st and 2nd at the Vancouver Island Conference Center. And then we go to 5 more venues. So we're heading up to Courtenay, Campbell River, Port Alberni, Ucluelet, which will be a new community that we'll be visiting this season.
Oh, that's great.
And then we finish on July 16th in Ladysmith.
Okay, well, thank you both so much for being here. It's another production for us to look forward to with Reconciliation Theatre. So thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
You want to talk about theatrical? We're throwing it now to Kathy Holmes.
So I don't know about you guys, but I need my calendar because it looks like there's going to be nothing but fun ahead for the next few months. Show after show, fabulous after fabulous, and things that you can do that you will truly enjoy, like get on a boat. So go buy a ticket, because I'm telling you, as a boater myself, there is nothing more fun in the world than going along in a speedboat and enjoying the weather when we have it. This is also a time to reflect on our friends who may have some challenges, because as I mentioned at the beginning of the time, it is the season where summer begins, and so too does fire season. And so in an upcoming episode, I'm going to bring some of our fire ESS folks to come and talk to us about that. But I do want you all to be prepared and be ready for who knows what's going to happen this season. We do know it's going to be hotter than usual. So please take care of your neighbors. Check in and see if they need some water. Check in and see if they need a cool down or a cold fan or cold beer, whatever makes it fun for you. And make sure that our neighbors are doing okay. And so in the meantime, I wish you all the very best of this season. I hope you have a blast this summer. Now, as I said, there's still going to be a couple of shows, but it won't be with our full entourage. I do want to thank the many volunteers that we have at Rogers Television and on Act 3. The work that they do helps us bring you the show, Act 3, and we're very proud of it. We hope you stick with us, and we'll see you next time. Have yourself a fabulous, fabulous summer, folks. Bye for now.